Greetings everyone, I am the goddess known as Jackie Gates, and today I want to talk about our comfort zones. I have been metaphorically hit on the head so many times this week about my comfort zones. There's a quote that I got. It's from Neale Donald Walsh, you know, the guy from The Secret, and Conversations with God is the big book that he wrote. And he says, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Do you know what? I'm beginning to think he's right. Simply because I've done a lot of stepping out of my comfort zone recently. I want to say that it's voluntary, but most of the time it hasn't been. It's been a shove from somebody that cares about me, somebody who believes in me more than I believe in myself. Sometimes it's been me, but more often than not, it hasn't been. For example, this 30-day blogging challenge that I'm on, I tried so hard to start after I got back from my trip to Minnesota. But no, Kimberly Castleberry went out and announced it on Facebook and started me like an hour before that. In other words, the post that I had just put out, she made day one and off we went. It was one of the best things ever, but at the time I was squirming. I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to make this. I'm going to fail again. I'm not going to follow through, because that's one of my big things, is not following through. It's been the best thing. And then I have a confession, not a confession, but about, I don't know, 6 months ago, when all this started. I can't believe it's just 6 months since I put out my first I'm quitting video, and all this has happened. But I was on a call with Diane Hochman, the great marketing training, Diane Hochman, and I don't even remember what I said, but it was obviously one of my usual programmed deep belief type reasons, you can say excuses, as to why I wasn't doing anything, why I was in all my inactivities. And she said on the public call, she said, you have to stop making excuses sometime. And I was so embarrassed. Now, this is just me. She didn't do it out of meanness. She did it as a nudge to get me going. And instead of getting going, I curled up in a heap and disappeared under a rock for 6 months. She knew what she was doing. She knew me well enough, better than I knew myself, to see that I needed that shove. I needed to be held accountable. And you know, actually thinking about it, so many of my directors when I was on stage did the same thing. The great David Mattison, a director that I worked with many times, he used to stand in front of me and go, you know, where is it? Where is this performance that I'm supposed to be seeing? And I would be embarrassed in front of everybody, but only embarrassed because I knew that I wasn't giving everything. I wasn't going outside my comfort zone. I wasn't risking anything. And you see, what I'm trying to say is that if I had been doing my very best, he would have seen that. Diane would have seen that. Kimberly would have seen it. But I wasn't. And that's the reason why I got embarrassed, because I got shown up for what I wasn't doing, for the fact that I was sitting in this happy, comfortable, luxurious place that I'm so easy in. Scott Meneses wrote an amazing article on his blog, and I'm going to link to it, about the work you have to do to make it. He talks about the unicorns in network marketing and just generally online marketing that these gurus try to sell you. They'll tell you there's this mythical creature called instant success. You know, you hear about this 20-something-year-old kid who knew nothing and just got himself a laptop and internet and 6 weeks later, he's making 100 grand a month. Yeah, these things sometimes happen, but what they don't tell you is all the work and all the pain, all the embarrassment, all the alienation from family, the things that you miss on the way to get to where your dreams are. I know this from theatre. I had to work my butt off to get to where I was in the theatre. It was hours of practicing scales. It was hours of practicing dance steps. It was organizing my kids and paying for babysitters and trying to be a mom and still create this life. I'm still doing that. I'm trying to be a mom and run a house and create my dreams. You know what it's like. You're there yourself. But you know what? We reach a point where we're quite good at what we're doing. We reach a point where we're quite capable. You know, life's going along quite smoothly. And it becomes a comfort zone. And because we remember the pain of getting to where we are now, we don't go further. It gets too scary. The risk is too great. The embarrassment might be too great. The sheer hard work. Let's face it, if we could all be millionaires without working, that's what they try and sell us. They sell us this idea of money for nothing, and it's not there. There is nothing like that, short of winning the lottery, and that is a stupid game. Yeah, buy it if you happen to have $1 spare, but don't bank your future on that. And really, if you buy into a network marketing company and you expect everything to come to you without doing any work or effort or anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, that makes you stretch, makes you grow, you may as well buy a lottery ticket. So, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. I'm pretty much at the end of my comfort zone with this video and where I am in this 30-day challenge. It's scary, it's nerve-wracking, but you know what? It's like a roller coaster. It is so exhilarating. And yes, there's times that I'd rather be with my family. And yes, I'm going to have to do some stuff that I'm still, like cold calling and various other things that I really, really wish I didn't have to do. But at the same time, if my dream is big enough, I'll get there. Just have to keep focusing on the end result. So, maybe you'd like to look at your comfort zone, see how often you've been outside of it this week, this month, this year, because that's where the growth is, that's where the honey is. Have a goddess worthy day.